Welcome back to Passing Time with Craig. As always, I'm your host, Craig. Hopefully your June is going swell thus far. I've got a fantastic interview with the wonderful Chris Cann, who is the man behind, the founder and owner of Q-Tilities, a new queer-owned and operated energy retailer here in Alberta. We're going to talk to him about, how he got into this social enterprise. It's a very different conversation than some of the other ones we've had on the pod before, but I'm excited to chat with Chris. He's fantastic. We had a great conversation. But before we get to that, I have to let you all know there's a new film coming out this Friday, June 20th. It is called Leviticus. It is a neon film released through Elevation Pictures as well here in Canada. I got to watch this film. I got a screener of it. It's so good. It's a new Australian supernatural horror film. It follows two young men who become tormented by a violent supernatural entity that takes the form of the person they desire most, which is each other. It is creepy AF. It's so well done. It's heartbreaking. It's written and directed by Adrian Chirala, Joe Bird, and Stacey Clausen star in it. I was like, okay, let's watch this movie. And it was so good. One of my favorite horror films in a long time. Love seeing queer films, queer horror. And something about this film where it's not just the supernatural elements that make it terrifying, but people's reaction and beliefs and some religious aspects is what's terrifying about it. So if you get the chance to check it out, it's in theaters this weekend. Leviticus, so good. 10 out of 10, recommend it. I'm going to have more info on it on my Instagram and more fun stuff coming out about it. There's some exciting movies coming out. I've been so honored and blessed that I get to chat movies, and that's actually a little teaser of something big coming. The next aspect of Passing Time with Craig, something is in the works. I'm hoping to announce that at the end of June, early July, all things considered. We'll see how that goes. But lots of great movies out. Go check them out. Leviticus this weekend. I also got to see Disclosure Day, a scary movie. I'm just seeing movies every single week now. At least one movie in theaters. And I love it. It's great. Now, on to today's guest, Chris Cann, founder and owner of Q-Tilities, queer-owned and operated energy retailer here in Alberta. What's amazing about this place is they are a social enterprise, which means that if you get your energy through them, proceeds go towards helping queer community-based organizations, nonprofits, and just community groups. It is such a cool thing, and I was really excited to chat with Chris about how this all came to be, being queer in Alberta. And maybe people not realizing that they have a lot of options when it comes to utilities. I did not know that. Chris has been a wonderful resource for me. And we're going to talk about social enterprise and what it's like to be a business owner and having those things and what it all means. Because I think when you hear social enterprise, you don't necessarily know. We're going to shout out some other fantastic organizations. And at the end of the episode, if you listen all the way through, I might have a referral code for you. That will be really fun. So please enjoy my chat with founder and owner of Q-Tilities, Chris Cann. Well, thank you, Chris, for being here today in my studio.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Very excited to talk to you. And I think this is such... since we've connected, I've been really excited to have you on the podcast. There's so much to cover about Q-Tilities and educating people about their options, because I think that's a big thing. Like, there's so many avenues we want to start with, but I think we need to kind of start with why you're here, who you are, and like, because Q-Tilities August to 2025?
Yeah, August 20, no, what is it this year? 2026? Yeah, August 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not even a year old.
Yeah.
You're getting your name out there, but tell people about your company and your business.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it for sure. So yeah, you're right. Q-Tilities has been around for about 8 months, launched August of last year, and it's a competitive energy retailer. So without naming names, think of like the big city-owned utility companies and some of those bigger competitors. That's exactly what we do. So we retail electricity, natural gas, internet for your home and business. But what makes Q-Tilities unique in this market is that I operated as a social enterprise and have made the very conscious decision to take all of our profits and reinvest it back into queer and trans charities, community organizations, nonprofits, grassroots organizations, because it's really important to me to kind of have a business that gives back. When I was starting Q-Tilities, it was like, how can I find something that gives back to community in a meaningful way, especially with all these funding cuts and folks fighting from the same dollars. But how can we take something that we need and use every day, like our lights, our power, and turn it into something for good? So that's kind of like what Q-Tilities is. I always say, well, think of the big one, but make it gay.
Yeah.
And then that obviously makes it better. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
So, we've got lots to talk about, as I said, but there's 2 points that we've already established that I think we need to cover first, which is social enterprise. You know, we learn, I remember in school, I don't know, junior high, high school, at some point we did learn the different types of businesses, and I'm pretty sure we maybe mentioned social enterprise and then it just like moved along. I don't think a lot of people realize what a social enterprise is and why it's so awesome and why it's a great thing to support.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like not a business major or an economist or anything like that. So I'm probably going to give you a very wrong definition of a social enterprise. But to me, how I view a social enterprise is different from like a nonprofit or like a charity. I mean, this business is still primarily a business that is privately owned, is generating profit and revenue. But where the difference is between a typical business that's all based on profit and that kind of thing is that giving back piece. So it's similar in terms of like a nonprofit where you think like they bring in money, they bring in funds, they have operating expenses that they need to cover. But at the end of the day, every cent over and above those operating expenses is going back into community. It's just a different way. I think I look at it, a different way of doing capitalism a little bit better. I guess like when you think about utilities, no matter, or any, I guess, business, you have a profit margin built in into it, right? So it's acknowledging that, yeah, I'm participating in the system. There is profits being made, but I'm going to do something different with those profits, and I'm going to use it for good. That social piece, right? And kind of build a network of support that believes that and wants to do that, and just give them a different way to, like to use their purchasing power differently. I think, right? It's would be it in a nutshell. And I just hope the other businesses get on board too, because I think we've got a lot of potential to do some good work if we reinvested more back into community.
Well, and that's just it. And, you know, it makes, I learned this and I go, this just makes sense. I don't understand where the confusion is. And what's great about specifically Q-Tilities, I mean, there's definitely other social enterprises and some great people that will mention, other businesses doing stuff like that. But this is a basic need that you need for your apartment, your house. Mm-hmm. You need electricity.
Yeah.
You need this stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to pay this bill. And times can be tough. We know this. The economy is not fantastic right now. Mm-hmm. You want to give back, but maybe you don't know how. This is a great opportunity to just be paying your bills, and in a way, you're giving back.
100%. Yeah, that's a really good point, because I think it's important. A lot of people come up and ask and say, well, how can you do this? I'm going to have to pay more. Yeah. Or I don't have extra to, like, the bills are already expensive, so I can't afford to do extra on top of this. But I'm not asking folks to pay more. If you look at our rates, we're very competitive. We're either below or on par with some of the big players. In a nutshell, I mean, we've got lower operating costs for one thing, so I don't have to pay hundreds of staff, and I don't have to pay millions of dollars in shareholder bonuses and CEO bonuses. So I have the ability to keep the rates low and competitive, and be able to put that money back into community. And I mean, don't get me wrong, things are still going to be expensive. I mean, and I'm sure we'll talk about this when we do like some electricity education. There's some stuff you can control that of aspects of your bill that are going to be high. But the stuff you can control, I try to be as reasonable and competitive as I can while still being able to take that money and put it back into community.
Yeah, and like I switched over recently, and of course it was switching over to a time where I'm like, I have my portable AC unit in my room, and I'm like, okay, well, this is normally when I get my higher months anyways. And it was like, I was like, oh, okay, no, that didn't scare me. Like that was fine. Like this is what it was. I'm happy to see this. Like I think it was a little bit cheaper. And like I'm a small apartment. I don't have much. Bigger homes, people are going to see different things, but at the end of the day, it's maybe a couple dollars less, maybe a couple dollars more 1 month, but things change all the time as we go over it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it really depends on what you choose. We've got fixed rates and variable rates. So, I mean, if you're on a variable rate, that's where you've talked about more of that that fluctuation. I mean, granted, the variable rate over the last 13 months has been the best rate you could possibly be on.
Yeah.
In like the 5.5 cent range on average. Fixed rates, we're going to be putting some new ones out in July that are going to be in like the 6-7 cent range, which is very low and very good for a fixed rate as well. So we give people options in terms of whether they want that stability or whether they're okay to kind of ride the wave a little bit, because you usually come out ahead when you're on the variable rate. Anyways, that's a lot about rates, but you're right. It's typically, like you said, lower. Admin fees are typically lower. Rates are typically lower. So you are saving a little bit, but I think more importantly I won't say more importantly because savings are important these days, but you also can say like, I'm saving some money, but knowing that I'm doing some good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the word option, talking about rates and everything like that, but I wanted to get into this right away because when we chatted the first time we met up to chat about this, and I told you, I was like, I really thought there was like the two big options that everybody knows and most people use. They see the big ads. And then you were like, oh no, there's a bunch of options for you. There's plenty of them. And I was like, okay, but I'm also in an apartment building. You're like, no, that's not a problem. Like, so this is the thing that I speaking for myself, but knowing other people in my life, I don't think we're educated enough here in Alberta to realize we have a lot of options.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm glad you asked that, because I think that's another one of the really big questions that I get is like, well, I only can go with my city-owned utility.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all. I mean, a lot of folks in the city obviously think that. A lot of folks come from other provinces where there is only one option. I'm from Nova Scotia. You've got Nova Scotia Power, BC Hydro in BC. But Alberta, without going too technical, but I mean, this education is important, is the only market where you've got a fully deregulated energy market in terms of who you can pick as a retailer. Yeah. So that gives you lots of options for competitive retailers outside of those big city-owned utilities. And that's kind of like the model that Q-Tilities slipped in, because then we can do what we want while still offering that service. So yes, you do have choice. I guess where you have choices, like I said earlier, over the rate and the admin fee, there's a part that is regulated, distribution and transmission charges, which I won't bore you with, but that's a part of your bill that stays the same regardless. I think another big piece is when we're talking about choice, it also comes down with understanding how electricity works and is delivered to your home. A lot of people think that switching to a smaller retailer means that they're going to have to get new meters or like new wires are going to have to come to their house, but that's not the case. We work off the same infrastructure that's already in place throughout the city. So there's no swapping of meters. There's no swapping of pipes, wires. I mean, you can attest to this. You probably didn't even notice that your lights flickered. Like they didn't even flicker when you switched over, right?
No.
It's just the same power coming through the lines. It's just what you're paying for it and who you're supporting at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's just it. We're just not educated enough about this stuff. You turn 18, you're getting your first place, you're just renting, you see the ads, or you know what your parents did, and your parents just say, go here, and you just sign up there. And people don't realize we have those options. And it's just one of those things that I feel like probably a lot of us in the city and province just kind of accept it.
100% they do, yeah, because they just don't know. You're exactly right. And I don't expect them to. I mean, you've hit the nail right on the head there, right? It's like I mean, let's be honest, electricity and utilities are boring.
Yeah.
You don't really think about it unless your power's out.
Yeah.
So as long as your lights are turning on and your bills are being paid, like it's just coming auto debit out of your account, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Right? So I totally get it. But I think the more people that do know, and the more people that know that you've got the options and also that you can trust it. I think that's another big thing too, right? Is like, well, we know that city-owned utility A in Calgary has been around since 19 whatever, 32 or something like that, right? So they know the name that comes with that trust. But just because they're a big company doesn't mean that they're the best or that you have to stay with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you decided, when did this whole idea come to you of Q-Tilities and deciding to go down this road? Was it like an immediate, like, oh, this is what I need to do? Was it nerve-wracking? Were you excited? Like all the above?
Oh my God. All of the above. Yeah. So, no, it took me a while to get there. I mean, like, so my background, I work in like finance, utilities, social work. So I've had quite the array of jobs, and I was laid off from a nonprofit, funding and all that stuff, fun stuff that happens at nonprofits. And I was like, I need to think about something different, because even working social work and as a nonprofit, I felt like I was part of the problem and part of the systems that aren't working for people, right? And I saw firsthand how hard it is to spend all the time writing grants, writing applications, begging for money that everyone is begging for, getting turned down, and how much of a significant impact that can have on your operations. And ultimately, not just the operations, but the lives of the individuals that your organization is serving, right? So I kind of had a pivot. I mean, I'll be honest, I never in a million years would have thought that I would start a business. But I thought it was an opportunity to really like do some soul searching and try to find a way to work with community that was meaningful and was able to give back and support these organizations that have done so much for folks in Calgary, I mean, or across Alberta, right? Because Q-Tilities is across Alberta. So getting there, I mean, no, it wasn't a straight path. I originally played around with some ideas of like, well, maybe I should open like a queer bookstore and have it like a third space, because we're lacking so many great community spaces in the city. I quickly realized that I don't have millions of dollars just to throw into a venture like that. And I didn't want to create a space that competed with organizations that already existed, because again, like they'd be fighting for the same money and funds are limited, right? So really how this path then progressed is like, there's got to be something where I'm not asking people to buy something niche or one time. There has to be like a way to have a business, like you said, that people need. We all need power. We all need heat. We all pay the bills whether we want to or not. So how can there's got to be something like that I can marry these two like worlds together, like that social work, that nonprofit, that community piece with a business piece. And this was it. And I found a really great company here that's been around for like 40 years, Utility Network. And so they have a model built where they've helped other small retailers all across the province, whether it's been like individual towns setting up similar retailers or for like all for-profit businesses. But they have such a great model that is basically like plug and play. They provide the customer care, they provide the energy procurement, they provide the billing and settlement. So like they have that system that's been built, trusted, and works. That really just, it kind of made sense. It's like, this is it. This is like I said, this is the way to take something that we need every day of our lives and turn it into something good. And as soon as I talked to them and approached them, they were immediately on board. There was like no selling. They're like, yeah, this makes sense.
Wow.
Like, let's do that. So I've got to give them credit for that, because I don't think a lot of spaces or companies in this industry, especially in Alberta, would be as receptive, especially for someone who, like I said, I don't have a business degree. I didn't work in businesses before, to come on board so fast and just trust that it was the right thing to do, because they saw don't want to say they saw the value from like a money perspective, but they
Yeah.
saw the value in this type of model being able to give back to community in a meaningful way. So that really like kind of, as soon as they were on board, I was just like, okay, this is real. Like let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so great what you guys are doing. I like you're so one thing I wanted to let people know is that like Q-Tilities is the proceeds are going to nonprofit organizations, but also certain organization and groups that in the queer community that might need that stuff as well.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question too. So yeah, how I've set it up is I've got some dedicated charity partners. So that I wanted to identify right off the bat and allocate some money to. So we're talking like Center for Sexuality, Skipping Stone, Pride Center of Edmonton, to name a few. And so what happens is I put all of the profits that are going back to community into a community fund. And I allocate 50% of that profit to go back as like a charitable donation to those organizations. And then the others, 50%, I keep to kind of do one-time sponsorship or something like that for like some of those small organizations. Because you're absolutely right. Organizations that don't have charitable status or are grassroots don't get the same type of funding opportunities that some of the big charities do. So I thought it was really important to just not focus on those big players that have more opportunities, and also have opportunities for these smaller groups that are building community in different ways, whether it's an inclusive sports league or whether it's like Queer Calgary is one that we sponsored. And they do so many just like community and social building activities that are so important. I mean, people overlook that sometimes. They think that it's got to be the big charity doing the programming, but those creating spaces for community to come together are just as important as the work that some of the larger charities are doing. So yes, it was really important to be able to set aside money to help those folks out as well.
Yeah, because some of those organizations too that are trying to do something for the community, sometimes they're only looking at like $100-$200. Like they're just needing, but that's still a lot of their own money that they can't
100%.
do, or they can't give it right away. So they're needing, so it's all these organizations that are doing such great work, important work, trying to make people feel inclusive and welcome, that aren't not-for-profit, can't apply for the same grants as anybody else. And all they're looking for is, like I said, $100-$200.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference, right? I mean, that $100 or $200 could mean free entry fees for someone who's low income and really needs that community support, right? So we may not think it makes a big difference, but it really does to that person that needs it, and that organization that literally counts every cent that comes through the door, right? And counts on it. Yeah.
And so obviously Alberta
is Alberta.
Everybody knows what's going on. It's not an easy time for a lot of people, whether you're queer or not, but specifically queer people, the transgender community, they're under attack by stupid laws they're trying to put in place, take back all these steps that have made. So why was it important for you to just, let's make it clear, let's make it queer. This is what this company is.
For sure. I mean, I could go on a really long tangent that I won't. But I think it's exactly that. I hadn't been involved in community in the way that I wanted to for a long time. And I think really seeing exactly what you've just said, what the government is doing, was that kind of like that catalyst piece, and saying like, no, it's not okay. I mean, when we think about queer and trans movements throughout history, it's been trans folks who have been at the forefront and fighting for rights, and seeing especially what's happening to the trans community right now is just like, you know what, this isn't a battle that they can fight on their own, and they shouldn't have to.
No.
Everybody, whether you're cisgender, you're straight, you need to be vocal, and need to be active. And so that was kind of like the catalyst piece. Is like, I need to I can't stand up to the government alone, but I need to show up in community and say, like, I'm a business. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Yeah, we've really embraced the rainbow. I mean, I know you said no rainbow washing, but if you look at our website, it's full of friggin' rainbows. But I mean, it's like, that's purposeful, right? I mean, it's because in this industry, it's like you don't see a lot of representation. And I was going from day one, I said, like, if we're going to do this, I'm not going to hide.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to be a business that changes my logo for 2 days during Pride Month and then forgets about you July 1st. I mean, come July 1st, I'm still going to be gay.
Yeah.
I'm still going to fly the flag. And Q-Tilities is still going to be like hella queer
Yeah.
and supporting community, right? So it was that, like you said, the stuff with the government, the worldwide, the regression and the steps backwards. It was just like, you know what? No, we can do something differently. I know that all of Alberta is not like this. I know that sometimes people don't know how to help. They may not be comfortable going out and protesting, which, I mean, I would challenge folks. We need to push past that discomfort and get out there because, especially like you said, the trans community, they need our support now more than ever. I've lost my train of thought. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Just get out and do something and be proud to be a queer business, be proud to support queer and trans organizations and not hide behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're an ally and you've been trying to figure out how you can support, this is a great way.
100%.
Switch over your utilities and there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just it's great that you I think it's so important that you really make sure everyone knows that you are a queer company. I think that's important because we were talking about this before we got on the podcast and about how currently it is June and everybody's got their pride. You know, they're rainbow washing for this month of June and then we're back at it next month to just whatever. And then those who have affiliates in Calgary, we'll see them again in August, September when it becomes Calgary Pride. But just being queer, or at least it not necessarily being a queer-owned, queer-run company, but being an ally who just is always supporting queer, making it clear, because we're seeing it down in the States with DEI. We're seeing that now companies have thrown out and they are only using it for a week or two in June.
Yeah. Even if you're lucky, I mean, like I won't speak on behalf of them, but I mean, we see the stories about like all the Pride organizations, Calgary Pride, Edmonton Pride losing funding. So it's happening here too. It's a like a trickle down effect. So yeah, it's don't just show up when it's splashy and convenient. I mean, they're even like I said, they're turning away from that now because they don't want to be labeled under that DEI. I don't know what Danielle called it the other day, the attack on woke or the attack on DEI or something like that. Anyways, yeah, it's got to be, you got to do it authentically. And I believe people can see when it's authentic and when it's not. I mean, like you said, the folks that are coming out now, and that'll circle back around in August, September when Calgary Pride rolls around. I mean, yes, they're there, they're being visible, but let's ask the question about why. Is it true support? Is it true representation? And I mean, no shade to the folks who are part of the community that work there. I mean, that's great that they get to be represented, but let's look at the larger companies and what they're doing on a long-term basis. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I may not have the same kind of money to throw back in community yet. Yeah. I will get there. We will grow. But at least I'm doing it 365.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I read on your website, and it's on your website, and now I'm saying it here, so it's even out more to people. Q-Tilities has a goal of $250,000 back into the 2S LGBTQIA plus community by 2030.
Yep, that makes me sweat a little bit sometimes, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to like challenge myself and really push for that. That is 100%. That's my goal. And I think we can do it because I think our community and our allies are strong and supportive. I think it's going to take work to get there because, like I said, it's that trust piece, not only in terms of trusting utilities, but there's also a trust piece with community. I mean, I don't expect people to believe me and believe what I'm doing just because I'm queer. I'm still a white cisgender presenting man
Yeah.
at the end of the day. There's problems with that. I don't expect people just to get on board because I say, hey, I'm part of the community. You have to trust me. It's
Yeah.
about building those relationships authentically with community, with important people that are doing the work in community and showing that I can be trusted and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So yeah, that goal is huge. It does make me sweat and wonder if I'll be able to do it, but I'm confident that we'll be able to get there. And I think it's just going to grow and take off even more than it has.
I was going to say, how
yeah.
has the first 8 months been for you?
Yeah, nutty, really. It's gone. It's been better than I actually anticipated, which has been so great. I mean, folks are so receptive and on board with what I'm trying to do, which gives me hope.
Yeah.
Folks switch over. I think like the biggest challenge is getting people to actually make the switch because like I said earlier, like nobody cares about the utilities. So you can have a great conversation with somebody. You're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. But then we all have lives, we all have jobs, we're busy.
Yeah.
And you kind of forget about it, right? So it's the busyness for me has been staying front and center and trying to take every opportunity to remind people that Q-Tilities exists and why you should switch over. But no, it's been going well. We're building a great, solid customer base all the way from got customers down in Lethbridge, Fort McMurray, all in between. So it's encouraging because people are, even though we're small, I'd say we're small and mighty, people are paying attention, people are supporting, and people are sharing information like you even doing this, right? I mean, helping me get the message out to folks that this is an option and it's something that you should consider doing. So it's been good, but busy. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been educating me and I've been so appreciative. But something else, people listening to this to go, oh, no, it all sounds great. I'd love to, but like, when do I have the time to try and contact XYZ company that I have and switch over to Q-Tilities?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we try to make that as easy as possible too. So, I mean, if you're comfortable enough doing the application online, you can do that. It's quite easy. It takes a couple minutes to do. If not, I'm always happy to review your bill with you, do the application on your behalf, have a conversation with you. And even when it comes to switching, I mean, you don't really have to do anything with your current provider. Most folks think that just because they're in a fixed rate that they're locked into a contract. You're actually not. You're free to leave at any time, and we'll take care of that cancellation for you. We cancel with your existing retailer, so you don't have to call them.
Yeah, that's what I found over you, and it was and I was like, this doesn't make sense. And sure enough, like I applied online, sent it off, and then I don't know how many days later, I got the email from NMAX being like, we're moving on, and it was like, as of this stage, it was like, wow, that was easy.
Yep. So truly, we try to make it as simple as possible. And I try to be as receptive as possible because I know like having those conversations and getting the opportunity to talk to folks is really important to me too. Again, back to that trust piece.
Yeah.
I want people to know that I am who I say I am, and provide that service that I think is missing with other companies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we start to wrap up here, a couple last questions. One, what do you want people to kind of know about social enterprise as they're starting businesses? And they might be listening to this and going, oh, I don't know if I can do this. This seems, because it's utilities, maybe it's something, but I'm offering some other things. What do you want people to know about social enterprise as they're starting a business, if they're thinking of going down that road?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when people hear that is like that they can't support themselves on it. I mean, the first little bit's going to be rough. I mean, like starting any business would. So, I mean, don't go into it blindly. Don't go into it without a plan, but also don't think that you can't do a social enterprise or have a community that gives back or have a company that gives back to community. And that doesn't mean that you can't still pay yourself like a living wage and all of that. So that would be one thing. And I think I would say like, just do it. I mean, fear holds us back in so many ways, and prevents us from doing some really cool things. And I think if you are passionate about something and it's important to you, you're going to find a way to do it. So I would say jump into it. And I mean, there are other social enterprises out there. I will shout out one that I really love because I love tea, Radical Mullet Tea. They're based out of Canmore. They're also doing a social enterprise, so their profits go back to Skipping Stone. So it's like, find something that you love, and do it, make it a
Yeah.
business, and find a way to give back to the community that supports you as well.
Yeah, there's some great ones out there. Some places doing amazing stuff. Sock Rocket, I love what they're doing. Every time you buy a pair of socks, they're donating 3 pairs of socks to different organizations. And then 17 have thrift. It's a thrift shop, and once the bills are all covered and salaries and everything like that, proceeds are going to different animal rescue organizations.
100%.
So there's a lot out there. There's more than people think.
Yeah, and you don't have to give away everything, right?
Yeah.
It's you can build a business model that still, like you said, covers your costs, covers your salary, but then you're still able to give back. So I just think if more people got on board with that, I don't know. I just think the world would be a better place, Craig. The world would be a better place.
It would be. It would be. So as we start to wrap up here, we've talked about a lot of stuff. We've talked about Alberta. We've talked about utilities. I want to kind of end with some joy and what does queer joy look like to you?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a hard question too, especially when you're right, everything is so heavy.
Yeah.
I think queer joy to me is just it's a lot of things. It's finding community. It's finding people that get you and understand you for who you are, and whatever that looks like. Queer joy for me looks like being able to just paint my nails and have fun and walk around and be out with my husband and talk about my husband and I think queer joy too also is finding supportive community members like yourself and other people that want to amplify folks in the community and be there to support. So queer joy also looks like going to a drag show, supporting some of the amazing drag artists we've got in the city and the folks that are building amazing community and social spaces. So there's a lot. I mean, it doesn't have to be big things. Queer joy can be flying your pride flag out on your deck or putting it in your car, whatever that looks like. But yeah, it's just, I think just queer joy is just being able to live authentically and just show up how you want to show up in the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. And for those listening, go celebrate queer, support a queer business, support a queer artist. Come to one of my events. I'm queer.
100%. And they are fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else you want to share with the folks listening?
Yeah, no, I think we've covered a lot. I think really the only thing that I would want to really encourage folks is just don't accept the status quo, right? I mean, you have choice, especially in terms of we're talking about utilities. You've got choice in that. Think about how you want to use your purchasing power. I think we can, if more people got behind using their purchasing power differently, not just going with the Amazon, with the Walmart, they're not going to sue me. They don't care who I am. But you know what I mean? Use your purchasing power to support local queer companies. People assume that supporting local often means paying more. It doesn't have to.
No.
So let's just make some change by using our money differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And reach out to me. I'm always happy, whether it's on social media, whether you email me. I'm not going to give you my phone number, but I mean, you can I'm happy to have a conversation and help you navigate this. Don't get overwhelmed when it comes to how should I think about rates? How should I think about switching? Let me help you with that, right? And take care of it for you. Yeah.
I've mentioned this on the podcast before. There's a great book called now I'm losing it, but it's basically Who Not How, and the whole book is all these stories about realizing that sometimes it's easier to find the person who can do something for you, answer the questions, instead of trying to Google it and do it yourself, and how much time, energy, stress you'll save, even sometimes money that you can't do this thing. Don't spend all your time on YouTube trying to figure out the thing and then realizing I've wasted 17 hours and I have no idea 100%. What I'm doing. Reach out to people. Yeah, reach out 100%. I'm glad you said that too, because that reminds me. It's I'm trying to be everywhere that I possibly can be. I was up in Edmonton last weekend for the Fruit Loop Pride Block Party. I'm going to be in Okotoks this weekend at their Pride Fest. I'll be at Calgary's Pride Fest, Edmonton Pride Fest. So I will be there, and I'm happy, and it is me. It's not somebody else that's out there selling stuff, right? So
come and have a conversation with me. I happily explain it to you. I usually have something to also help you sign up, so I can help you do it right there too, right?
Yeah.
So, like you said, Craig, ask the questions, because let the people that know what they're talking about do the work for you.
Yeah.
I'm an elder millennial, so I like to pick up the phone and ask rather than try to Google or find, spend millions of time on the email. So yeah, ask me and use and abuse me. Yeah.
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 Oh, well, thank you so much for being here today, Chris. I really, truly appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time to chat about this. I know it's probably not the most exciting topic you've ever had on your podcast, but I think it's an important one, right?
Yeah.
And
And again, I think it's very important. I was really happy to have you on and chat about this. And I think this is going to be interesting to a lot of people. I think they can learn some things either about their options, about social enterprise, being queer in Alberta, being a business owner. There's so many options.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on the podcast and educating me and hopefully educating some of you. Like I said, a little bit different in conversation, but I like to chat with different people. We've got so many amazing people doing great stuff, and to highlight Chris and Q-Tilities, what they're doing, I think it's so awesome, especially here in Alberta with all the crazy shit going on. So it was a pleasure chatting with Chris. Thank you for stopping by and chatting with me. For all my listeners, if you enter PT with Craig in the referral section, they will get 15% off your monthly admin fees. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you so much, Chris, for doing that. And yeah, you know what? Again, as Chris mentioned, reach out to him, reach out to them. If you have any questions, know your options, whether it's going with Q-Tilities, which is the one I recommend, or just looking into other things and seeing what your place is providing, your utility provider is. It's important to ask those questions and just not just go blindly into it. This comes to all the bills you pay. So keep that in mind. Keep track of what you're being charged each month through different services, your phone company, cable company, that's cable, utility, internet, all that stuff. So once again, PT with Craig, PTWithCraig in the referral section. Get 15% off your monthly admin fees. All right, thank you all so much for passing the time with me today. Follow me on social media at PTWCraig, Passing Time with Craig on Facebook and Instagram. Go check out Leviticus in theaters this weekend. Great, fantastic film. Creepy AF. That's what I will say. And beautiful. I absolutely loved it. A lot of emotions going on. Otherwise, we'll chat soon. Bye.